Hey Cheyenne, thanks for joining me today to do this quick video role play. We're gonna role play an expired listing, and I want to just explain to the agents who are watching what an expired listing is. I guess, if you have a real estate license and you're a member of the board, you should know what it is. But an expired is someone who was listed with another agent for however many months. Usually 6 months is like kind of the norm, but it could have been less than that. And the house didn't sell. And so the status, there's an expiration date on the listing. On that expiration date, the status changed from active to expired. And expired listings get a lot of calls from real estate agents. I know, Cheyenne, you're in the greater Boston area. You do call expireds.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Are there a lot of agents in your area calling them
Oh, there's a lot of agents because by 8:02 they're pretty angry about all the calls they're getting.
already, huh? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. You okay. Well, and here's the cool thing about it. Some agents, we're gonna role play now. We're gonna role play an expired. And from my experience and all of my clients' experience, one of the most common expired objections, a response that you're likely to hear when you call is, I'm not selling anymore. And you were saying by 8:02, they've gotten a lot of calls from real estate agents. I'm not selling anymore is the easiest, quickest way for them to end the conversation with all these agents that are calling. So I'm not selling. You got nothing to say. That's it. Yeah. Um, but I do want to mention this. Some agents are intimidated and scared and they don't want to call expireds because they know there are a lot of agents calling. Expireds have a little bit of a reputation of not being very nice. And I want to say this to agents watching that are hesitant to call expireds. The reason why a lot of agents call is because it is the easiest prospect you can speak with to take a listing right now. That's why so many agents call. If it wasn't that great a listing opportunity, nobody would be calling. Right, Cheyenne? Wouldn't you agree?
I agree with you 100%. They're one of the hottest prospects.
Oh, amazing. They're amazing. They may not be so happy when you call all the time, but they're a great prospect. So let's go for the role play. You ready?
I'm ready to go, Jackie. Let's do it.
Perfect. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hello, is this Cheyenne?
Yeah, this is Cheyenne. Who is it?
Cheyenne, this is Jackie. I'm a local real estate agent. I'm sure you know that your house came off the market today, and I'm calling you because I am confident that I
Jackie,
can
listen,
sell
you're
this
like the
house.
fifth realtor that's called me. I keep getting these calls. You guys got to stop. I
Yeah,
already talked to somebody.
yeah, yeah. And I hear you, Cheyenne. I'm sure your phone's been ringing off the hook all morning, and I don't know why these agents are calling. I'm calling you because I am confident that I can sell your house. And I'd like to meet with you for just 20 minutes and show you exactly how I can get it done. Are you available for 20 minutes around 3 o'clock today? Would 4 be better?
Yeah, listen, that's great, Jackie, but you sound just like the other guy that was on the phone with me 30 seconds ago. These phone calls need to stop. I'm just not going to sell it anymore.
Well, oh, did you say you're not selling anymore?
I'm just not going to sell it anymore. I'm sick of
Okay.
the whole thing, sick of the whole process.
Yeah, no, and you know what, Cheyenne, I don't blame you for being sick. Well, I couldn't even imagine being in your situation. Looks like you're on the market for 6 months. I mean, it's crazy to spend that much time with an unsold property, and I have to apologize on behalf of the real estate industry for that, because that's a horrible thing for you to have experienced. And Cheyenne, since you're not selling anymore, and I respect that, I don't blame you for just deciding to just stay where you are. When are you thinking that you might put the home back for sale?
Well, Jackie, you know what? I honestly don't know, but we had to get it sold. The last guy I had said it would be a 2-month process, and now here we are 60 days sitting on the market with no offers.
Yeah, no.
Now, I don't understand why you're calling me now. Why didn't you sell it when I had it on the market?
Cheyenne, that's a great question. Let me just say this, okay? Because I have no reason to have avoided your property. The challenge is I didn't know your house was for sale. Yes, it was. You're probably thinking, wait a minute, aren't you an agent? Don't you go in the multiple listing service? Yes, absolutely. And your house was there, and it's not like I was avoiding it. But Cheyenne, you sound like a smart guy. I'm sure you'll understand. There are thousands of homes for sale in the multiple listing service. And I didn't, your agent never called me to let me know anything about your property. So for me, I mean, I was actually looking for buyers for the sellers who had hired me in the last 6 months. I was actually able to sell 10 properties, Cheyenne, while yours was sitting on the market. And here's why I decided to call you today. I specialize, Cheyenne, in selling homes like yours that other agents couldn't sell. And I'd like just 20 minutes of your time so I can show you what I do differently to get houses sold in today's market. Do you have 20 minutes around 3 o'clock today, or would 4 be better for you?
Yeah, listen, that sounds great. I mean, you do sound like you know what you're doing, and I'll be honest with you. I'm just curious. What are you going to do any different than the other guy? He had the sign out there,
Yeah,
never brought anybody by. So I want to know, what are you going
yeah,
to do
yeah.
differently than him?
Cheyenne, great question, by the way, because definitely you don't want to put the house back on the market and have someone do the same thing because it could be a different agent doing the same thing. You're going to get the same results, which is an unsold property. Cheyenne, in a nutshell, and I want to meet with you and give you more detail on this. I am an active and aggressive agent. There are passive agents and there are active and aggressive agents. Passive, put a sign in the yard and wait for people to call. Do an open house and wait for them to walk in. Put it all over the internet and wait for buyers to come to you. I don't work that way, Cheyenne. I am focused on finding buyers for the properties that I list. That's what you would expect from the next agent that you choose, isn't it?
Well, yeah, if I'm paying thousands of dollars, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. And that's what I do. And when we meet for 20 minutes, Cheyenne, I'll give you all the details and the strategy on how I'm going to go about finding the right buyer for your property. Are you available around 3 o'clock today? Would 4 be better?
Listen, I think I'd be open to meeting, but I'm going to be honest with you. I have a deal breaker. I want to know one thing, so we
Okay,
don't waste our time.
sure.
How much is it that you guys charge for your commission? Because this last guy was charging way too much money.
Yeah. Well, and you you know what's interesting about this, Cheyenne? I know the commission is important because from your perspective, the higher the commission you pay, the less money you keep. And obviously, this is your home, it's your equity. You want to be able to walk away with the most money possible, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Just remember this, Cheyenne. This agent was charging you a lot of money, but you never paid him anything because he wasn't able to sell the property. And it's not even just about selling it. You need a tough negotiator to be able to sell it for the highest possible price and the best terms that benefit you in the transaction. I mean, ultimately, that's what you're looking for, right?
Yeah, no, I like how that sounds.
Yeah,
We're on the same
Cheyenne.
page.
Well, we'll discuss the details of the commission when I get there. I'll show you exactly everything that I do, and obviously, ultimately, commission is going to be what you and I agree upon. So, 3 o'clock today, or would 4 be better?
Jackie, I think I'll hear you out at 4 o'clock would probably be the best time for me.
Okay, sounds great. I look forward to seeing you at 4 o'clock.
Great. Thank you for calling.
Yay! All right, I like it.
You don't want
You
to go
were tough.
too overboard. That was good, right?
No, it
I
was
get
amazing. Hey, so for the people watching this, right? I know before we started the role play, you said, "Well, do you want me to be, how many times do you want me to give you an objection?" Like whatever you want. I
right.
want these objections to be organic. I know you call expired listings. Would you say this is like a typical call, or they're easier, or what would you say for the
I,
people watching?
I would say there's a lot of them like this. They're pretty upset. So this was pretty realistic. I would say 100%.
Yeah. So just to get, is there anything you want to say, Cheyenne, to the people watching that you picked up from the role play in case, everybody listening learned something different? What would be the main points from the role play that you would want them to make sure they heard?
I would say the little nuances and the specific words that you use after the pre-approval that draw people in. You don't want to sound like everybody else, and you're very good at that. I heard like nutshell, and I thought that was a better way of throwing it out there instead of going right into the details and holding the details before you actually give it to them. So that's what I caught. I mean, just from
Mhm.
knowing your scripts and knowing what you do.
Yeah, see, you know what I was doing, right? Like,
Right, right.
this is everything I've said you heard before because you're a part of Sales X training, and I role play live all the time, and there's all kinds of scripts. I mean, you even have this stuff in writing. And this is what's great about this. You hear, Cheyenne, true or not, the same thing from these expires. It's not like once in a while you hear an off the wall objection, but most of it is the same. You hear the same thing, everybody you call. So you just learn the script. You have it, just learn it. I remember you said about for sale owners, you didn't know it, you just picked it up and read it and you were setting appointments. So hey, that's where we all start, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, they really are all the same. They just say it in different ways. And
Yeah.
the good thing about your scripts, though, that I love, Jackie, everything is versatile. I can use the expired lines for the for sale by owner. So you just have to internalize them. And that's
Yeah.
what I love about your scripts.
I know, very cool. And one thing that I say to you, Cheyenne, you're a client, to the clients all the time, don't hesitate. Whatever you do on this call, because expireds they're quick. So if I start, well, that's it. Then, they lose confidence. That's like, what is this person doing? I don't feel good about this conversation. So just keep the conversation flowing.
Right, I agree. And that comes through role playing.
Yeah, practice, just
Right,
like everything
exactly.
else, right? We get good at it by practicing, and you practice in some ways and learn when you make calls too.
Yeah, everything's a learning experience. That's right.
Every call is a learning experience. Cheyenne, thank you so much. This was fun. You were a
Thank
great
you,
role play
Jackie.
partner.
Yeah, well, that's what I do with everybody. So, so we're here to do, right? Get
Yeah,
better.
well, you don't get better by doing easy role plays. The tough ones is where you get better, right?
Right, exactly. I want to sweat. Make me
And
sweat.
exactly right. And they're more fun too. Thanks again,
Exactly.
Cheyenne. Love it.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jackie.
it.
I
Thanks
appreciate
for
it.
your time.
All
Bye.
right, great. Bye.